Hello internet, like, share, subscribe, comment, bell, yada yada yada. This time I will speak a bit about the genesis of my work. When did it start? What did I do? How I did it? How it went? What is my long-term goal? What is my struggle, my success? Everything of the sort. So without becoming a personal diary thing or one of my video about autism, because yes, if you didn't know, I have Asperger syndrome and I do quite a bit of videos speaking about that, what it means to live with autism. But unfortunately, I still need to go back to 2011 to tell the story about my book. So here we go. So at that time, following quite a long problematic series of shitty events regarding my private life, my mental health, the world of work. I don't know how to say it in English, because in French we have a saying like le monde du travail, so the world of work, but the work thing, how to find a job, what do you want to do. So this is what I mean by world of work. I decided to stop everything regarding the normal life, like metro, work, sleep, because I just couldn't do it. I tried and I tried, and I went almost insane and unhappy and wanting to kill myself, so it was time to stop for my sake. At that time I was a bit different, and I finished wandering for almost all my life in the normal world. And what I mean by this is school, trying to find a job. I even stopped school when I was 70. I didn't even have the diploma of this particular timeline thing, school, Belgium stuff. School and work and stuff, all that kind of jazz. It was a big black spot in my existence, and it forever, and it made me go through really hard and dark times at this particular period, so 2011 or so. So it's with heavy relief that after a trip to a psychic ward, I said fuck this shit and threw everything away. I just couldn't take it anymore, so I've been through enough. It was time to stop, and at that time I had an idea, like a spark of lucidity, of genius, I don't know, and I pictured myself creating my own universe, writing book like in my own fantasy and dream, because I always was into that kind of stuff, art stuff, having my very own thing, which I quote at the time, wouldn't shy from Tolkien's work. Well, big words I know, but hey, at least the ambition and enthusiasm was there. That's the spirit, at least. So I started writing, like I always do, because I wrote for almost all my life since I was like 10, writing story, putting words together. I love that. Took me a year or two to start with the first iteration of the prologue of the first book and the first chapter. I needed a bit of time to get the idea together, maturing them, so in 2012, 2013, I finished the beginning of said prologue and first chapter that some of you may have read. Of course, it was a bit different, but the essential was there. I didn't change that much. And I wrote that thing in one sitting, like 20-25 pages, in one single sitting. It's quite a lot. Not sure I could do that performance again, because I wrote very fast back in the days, and yeah, I'm not sure I can do that again. Then waiting for the following up of the story to come, to properly form in my mind, thinking where I need to go, what my character will do, what I need to create, etc, etc. The world of work catch up to me again, and I started to battle to have my autism, Asperger autism diagnosis and my handicapped person pension. Took me 3 years to win that, with a heavy struggle and battle in court with lawyers, doctors, all that shit. Of course, when you have a disability, the first thing the state does is trying to prove that you are in fact fine and you are a big liar and lazy. Even though it resulted in victory 3 years after that, the beginning of 2016, I spent a few horrible years from early 2013 to the end of 2015. It was a very dark chapter of my life. Couldn't write, couldn't think of my story, had to deal with other shit. It's only in the end of 2015 when I got my apartment, because yes, I went homeless a bit earlier, and this was the second time in my life I was without a place to call home, so yeah, not fun. And after I got a place to live, finally I started writing again, when everything was dealt with, finally. Quite a trip, to be honest, but I managed it somehow. I finished the draft of the book like April or May 2016. It only took a few months to complete the book because I had time to think, honestly, and the idea came flowing like a hurricane when I finally sat down and start writing. It was a very intense work process, but also liberating, because it was very frustrating to me between 2013 to 2015, because I had the drive to write, but I just couldn't do, and even thinking about my stuff was not that easy. So yeah, it was very, very liberating to finally be able to write the stuff that was inside me and bubbling and boiling and everything. So yeah, it it went quickly to finish the book. And it was at that period, during 2016, end of 2016 I think, I met Loli Artesia, who would become the first grammar corrector of my book. Then came the time to find an illustrator, because as you may know, and if not I will say that again, I want drawings, I want art in my stuff. So I went to search for someone who could do that for me, and I wanted a nice person. So I had a few bumps initially, but after a few failed attempts and disappointing stuff, I finally found Jenny Burgi, the Swiss girl who drew everything in the first book. After that came the period when I needed to decide whether I wanted to go self-publish or find a publishing house. I spent a few months prospecting, almost a year to be honest, like, yeah, 10 months, 9 months, something like that. And after many refusals, I decided to go self-published during 2017. Now, even though I still want to go in a publishing house because, well, it's nice, it's only if I have an advantage, an important advantage compared to my current situation, which is not an easy fit, unfortunately. So until a good professional opportunity of a publishing house come by, I will stay self-published. The rest of my career was a bit more simple. There was still some small thing to deal with, so some problem to solution, but it was nothing compared to what I went through before the writing of my first book, so before end of 2015. It was hell then, so now it's much more easy. Like, everything is easy compared to it. In 2020, I did a crowdfunding campaign for my third book, and I always failed to do that. I didn't want to do that. Not that I didn't really want to do it in itself, it's just that I was scared to fail. I was terrified of failure, and I still am. Finally, I succeeded, and I even reiterate the exploit in a second time with the fourth book. And then here we are, the dawn of the launch of the Kickstarter of the artwork, the art book, sorry, which was a promise given during the crowdfunding of the third book. What to say? I never thought that I would get to that point. It is certain in my life. I will always imagine to fail long before, but I have the same feeling of fear of failure regarding to the art book project, because how could I succeed? I would love to someone to prove me that I'm wrong, and and I want to try the inventor to say to myself, no man, it's possible. But yeah, I have little trust in the success of the thing regarding the scale of the money needed. But I am terrorized. I am terrorized. But if I don't believe it, in at least a little, it's screw from the start. So yeah, it would be so goddamn cool that it would work. So yeah, I try. I do my best. So I hope it succeeds, and I put the effort and the sweat into it. You have to understand, I always failed in life, always. Seriously, I'm a walking failure. My family is a catastrophe, a living tragedy tale. I stopped school as 17 years old, as I said previously. I never won anything like prize or tournament or something. Relationship like girls and friends, I should not even bother trying to speak about that. Everything I tried resulted in failure. My life sucked so much. I tried suicide twice, and what kept me from trying a third time is the vague remainder of hope that maybe, we don't know, maybe it can work. At least take another step in that direction, in the hope that yeah, try. Self-confidence is not my strong suit. you can search a long time before before finding someone that is worse than me at that. I'm sure there is. Don't put mouth in my word, but yeah, it will take some time. All that saved me from total and utter black despair is something inside me, something like a dying flame that wake up from time to time and fill me with defiance and pride, a feeling of fuck every single one of you, and the will to succeed that rose from the ashes of my wounded heart or something. If I didn't have that, I would be a useless wimp of a man in a corner of a room who will not even dare to breathe in fear of disturbing someone. The level of loserness, if I can say that myself, is pretty high. Pretty high, and I would not wish that for even my worst enemy. This book series, my universe that I created, Demon Realms, is the embodiment of all of that. This gives life and will to a diminishing hope to, even though everything and everyone is against you, you can still hope and keep going. At least this is the idea. I've created this entire universe dark, grim, black, because to me, when you really look in the eyes of life itself, this is like that. The life is like a cannibal entity that devours his own kin, and in it a few individuals try to survive, to defend themselves, to keep fighting, to find a purpose, to, and in my universe they try to find a purpose in their existence in this fantastical world full of wonder and blood-maddened monster. There will be always hope and light somewhere in my work, and but there will also always be humongous amount of terror and danger. This is what I wanted for my work and my world. This is the kind of story I wanted to tell. A gigantic quest of meaning, a huge adventure where we search is the answer to the eternal why. What does this all mean? Why me? What do I mean? What is the answer? All of this with a bit of foolishness and badassery, epic battle, conflict, moving exchange and discussion, heartfelt relationship that rip the heart and the mind. This is what Demon Realms is all about. There is a bit of me, of course, but I dare to hope and imagine that I walk in the footsteps of other great writers who all understood that the most interesting story and adventure is a quest of self-meaning. What purpose give to us? What purpose to give to all of that is surrounding us? But if there is dragon and demon, it's more fun and interesting. So yeah, this is what my books are about. Take care, internet. Mwah.